Once upon a time, in a small village surrounded by rolling hills and green fields, there lived a woman named Clara. Clara was a botanist who had left her childhood village many years ago to study plants in the city. She remembered running through the fields, playing among the flowers, and learning about growing plants from her grandmother, who was a talented gardener. One sunny morning, after receiving news that her grandmother had passed away, Clara decided to return to the village. As she drove through the winding roads, Clara felt a mix of sadness and nostalgia. She remembered the garden her grandmother had tended, filled with vibrant colors and fragrant herbs. But when she arrived, she found that the village had changed. Many houses stood empty and the streets were quiet. People were moving away, seeking jobs in the city, determined to make a difference. Clara visited her grandmother's old house. With each step, memories flooded back. She found the garden covered in weeds, but among them, Clara discovered old packets of heirloom seeds buried in a rusty tin box. She took them out, feeling the history and love that had once nurtured them. Clara recognized many of them, seeds that were special to her family and the village. Inspired, Clara decided to revive the community garden that her grandmother had once started. She visited the village hall and spoke to Mr. Thompson, the village mayor. "We need to bring people back to our village," Clara said. "Let's start a community garden where everyone can plant and grow together." Mr. Thompson, a kind but weary man, nodded thoughtfully. "It's a good idea, Clara, but people are struggling. They don't have time for a garden." Clara refused to give up. "Let's invite everyone to a meeting. I will share my plans and show them how planting can bring joy and hope." The following week, Clara held a meeting at the village hall. She prepared a small speech and brought samples of the seeds in colorful packets. As people gathered, she could see everyone looking curious but skeptical. Clara began, "These seeds are special. They have been in my family for generations, and they can grow here in our soil. Together, we can create a garden to feed our families and bring back the happiness to our village." A few people nodded, but many still looked unsure. Yet, as Clara shared stories of her grandmother's garden, she could see their hearts beginning to soften. Old Miss Edna, who sat at the front, raised her hand. "I remember your grandmother's garden. It was the best in the village." Encouraged, Clara continued, "Let's start small. We can each take a patch to grow what we like. I will help everyone learn how to plant and care for the flowers and vegetables." Finally, Mr. Thompson stood up. "Let's do it. We can turn the empty field by the old school into our garden. It will remind us of the past and build a future." With renewed energy, the villagers rallied together. They spent the next week cleaning the field and preparing the soil. Clara taught them how to plant the seeds, making it fun and educational. Children giggled as they dug little holes, while the adults shared stories and reminisced about their own childhoods in the village. As the days turned into weeks, Clara watched the garden come alive. Bright sunflowers stood tall, while leafy greens peeked through the soil. People started to visit more often. They brought their families and friends, laughter filling the air as they worked side by side. The garden became a gathering place for everyone, bridging the gap that had formed over the years. One afternoon, Clara noticed that young Timmy, the shy boy who rarely spoke, was planting tomatoes with his father. "Look, Clara, they already have flowers," he exclaimed, pointing excitedly at the plants. Clara smiled. She could see how the garden was helping the village reconnect. As the garden flourished, something magical happened. The village began to wake up. Families who had moved away started returning as word spread of the new community garden. New shops opened, and people felt hopeful again. Clara's dream was taking shape. The garden was doing more than just growing plants. It was growing the spirit of the village. Soon, they organized a harvest festival. Clara and the villagers decorated the garden with colorful banners and lights. Families brought their harvest to share, and Clara cooked a delicious meal using the fresh vegetables and herbs from the garden. The aroma filled the air, making everyone's mouths water. As the festival began, villagers danced, laughed, and shared stories. Clara felt a warmth in her heart as she watched everyone enjoying themselves. They had created something beautiful together, and it brought life back to the village. That night, under a blanket of stars, Clara sat with Mr. Thompson by the garden. "I can't believe how much has changed in just a few months," she said. "This garden has brought us all together." Mr. Thompson smiled. "It's more than just a garden. It's hope, friendship, and a way to remember the past while building a new future. As the seasons changed, so did the village. The garden continued to grow, and so did their sense of community. Children who once felt disconnected began to make friends. Neighbors who had not spoken for years started to help each other again. Clara's heart soared with joy. In the years that followed, the village transformed completely. The community garden became a symbol of unity and resilience. Tourists began to visit, intrigued by the stories of the old heirloom seeds and the new life they had sprouted. Clara felt proud of her journey, knowing that her grandmother's seeds had not only revived the land, but had also healed the hearts of the villagers. The garden had become a place where dreams blossomed and hope flourished. In the heart of the village, among the laughter and the love, Clara had found what she had been searching for all along, a renewed spirit and a place to call home. And it all started with a few forgotten seeds.